It's coming out of the Google Play Store for only $179. But does that mean it's a device that's lacking? How's it going, guys? It's DJ, and today I'm giving you my thoughts and review of the Google Motorola G. Now, I won't be getting into specs on the phone because none of that really matters, and I think that's the point of this phone. Now, let's start with the most impressive part of this phone, and that being the price. Being only $179 for the 8GB model, Google and Motorola are trying to raise the bar for the budget phones out there. But with such a low price, you can expect some luxuries you find with other phones to be absent in the Moto G. Now, the design of the phone is very similar, as you already know, to the Moto X, but the added thickness is noticeable. Being an iPhone 5S user, the bulk of this phone was hard to get used to, but I don't want it to sound like I'm complaining. The phone feels solid, and the soft touch back makes the phone easy to grip onto. But again, the added bulk for some reason makes the phone fit awkwardly in my hand, but that's probably just me. To match the bulk of the phone, it's also a bit on the heavy side. I mean, again, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but the phone is a bit heavy, it's a bit bulky. But overall, the weight isn't as big of an issue as the size to me. Now, I want to get to my favorite part of the phone, and perhaps the feature that's just as impressive as the price, and that's the display. You might think for $179 you're going to be getting a dull, boring, washed out display, but the folks at Motorola really knew what they were doing. The screen is phenomenal. I would put it up against the display of the iPhone without even hesitating. Text is crisp and colors are vibrant, and it really is a pleasure to look at. It's a gorgeous display for things just like skimming through Twitter or even watching videos on YouTube or whatever you're doing. And while talking about videos, it's important to bring up the speakers, which are also very pleasant. The speakers won't compare, obviously, to ones on the HTC One with the boom sound or anything like that, but they will gladly stand up against most other smartphones on the market, not just the budget phones.
Hey, brother, there's an endless road to rediscover. Hey.
Overall, performance is smooth for the most part. Chrome often has some hiccups, like I mentioned in a video earlier, but that has become normal on most devices dealing with Chrome. Nothing really deal breaking there. Switching between apps is fluid, and out of curiosity, I decided to put this phone up against the iPhone 5S to see what the difference really was in speed. What are you paying the extra $600 for in the iPhone? So take a look at these speed differences. Now, as you can see, there are no apps running in the background of either of these devices before testing this out. And yes, you are seeing this correctly. In most cases, the Moto G is just as fast or faster to load up these apps, proving that specs aren't that important. While the iPhone isn't really known for being a phone with the highest specs out there, it is a premium flagship device, costing, like I said, almost $600 more than the Moto G. Now, if gaming is important to you, again, you won't be disappointed. I knew simple games would perform well, but I was really pleasantly surprised when I booted up a game that was graphically intense like Asphalt 8, and I took it for a spin. Games are responsive, and the Moto G can handle really the majority of the games you're going to be thrown at it. Now, the camera is only 5 megapixels, but it does what it should. It takes pictures, not great pictures, not bad pictures, just average. If the camera is your number one selling point, if that's what you're looking for in a phone, this might not be where you want to go. But if you're just using the camera like most people are these days to take a picture, put it up on Facebook, Instagram, whatever you're doing, this phone will do the trick without a problem. The last couple of things I want to mention, battery life was fine. Nothing impressive, but wasn't terrible by any means. about on par with most devices out there that I've used, and call quality also on par with most devices. My biggest complaint against the phone is the lack of LTE, which could be a deal breaker for some, but if you're not a speed freak, this probably doesn't bother you. You know, they had to, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, cut corners. Obviously, getting rid of LTE was something they had to do to make this such a affordable phone. So if you're looking for an unlocked device, this is for you. If you want a device that won't break the bank, this is for you. Or if you just love stock Android, this is really a great option. And it's really a great recommendation for anyone looking for a new phone or something they just want to play around with. You know, people are kind of calling this like the Android iPod Touch. It does everything you need it to do, and it does it well. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you later.